So during service, that thing has to look stunning. There can't just be any. The rest of this space, because like I said, Ever is granted nothing in terms of like fuck around square footage. There was none. Everything had to fit like a Lego piece. So this back area here operates for the back of house from early morning to when the prep starts to arrive until about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Back here, everything kind of gets laid out, decked out, protein gets broken down back here. It's a lot of, early morning kind of prep stuff. It's essentially kind of set and targeted and then launched into the kitchen to wherever that particular mise en place set is going to go in and solve, right? So the hamachi mise en place or the crab mise en place or the wagyu mise en place, it all kind of goes from here, broken down, and then into the kitchen.
So what's this space, like obviously mise en place done here, prep done here, but more than that happens here, I can tell, just by the physical appeal.
Yeah, for sure. After, well, it's decked in like pretty shit.
Yeah.
But that's only because, again, the box didn't give me the opportunity to separate this from the guest experience.
And for the people who didn't watch the interview, what do you mean by box?
The space we're in.
Yeah.
The 6,500 square feet that I rented for 10 years to put a restaurant in, didn't give me any goof around. There wasn't any other. And so this chunk, this Lego piece back here, had to do two things. Satisfy the kitchen's needs in the early morning to afternoon, and then we would all agree that by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they leave, because by 1 or 2 in the afternoon, they show up. The front of house show up to stemware, silverware. It works most of the time. Supply chain issues are abound, and so not everything shows up as early as you want it to now. They're chasing product all the time.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't work perfectly. But for the most part, these guys are gone, and then the FO8 shows up. In the middle is what we would call a service bar. That's kind of like from my hotel days. Before the captain approaches, give them something before they get there. And so this was kind of our answer, was to create a little corner where we could put fun teas and bites and hang things and let them have fun. What they usually do is if I'm on that side cooking lamb or whatever, lamb and beef are my responsibilities. As they get cooked, I get all of the ingredient ready, I put it on a small metal tray, and then it goes onto one of those white passes down the center. And then in the middle runs 2 or 3 chefs that do plating all night long. They just take mise en place that's prepped and given 2 thumbs up by the chefs that took it from raw to ready to cook, then place it out front. And then the chefs in the middle take that metal tray and put it onto an actual piece of china and paint the dish. When the dish hits about 90% complete, it's called to the expediter, who uses this stand, which is on wheels. But normally, our expo stand comes and sits right here.
Okay, so that rolls out and it would sit
exactly,
right here.
And that sits right here. And that was kind of one of the more fun parts of building the kitchen, was a custom fabricated expediter stand.
Oh, this is cool.
Right? And then should have drawers for all his nonsense.
All the colors.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, dude. Right? Because the theory was, and it was like this at Grace, normally what a restaurant like us do is put blue tape down, right?
Yeah.
You just section off a piece of blue tape. But that always bothered Chef, because he's like, it's usually pastry that takes that hit. He's like, I don't want pastry to lose real estate just because we need to expedite.
Yeah.
So building this was kind of fun, and getting a ticket board that faced up to you is Expo, because for us, Expo is key to service. So it's probably next to food runners and what I call floaters, people that clear china off of the table once you're done eating it. They control the rhythm of the whole house, and they can either respect it or totally fuck it up.
Yeah.
And so the kitchen runs super quiet for one reason and one reason only: Expo's voice. When you call, we need to hear. You fully custom make it. Like, you tell them where all the heating mechanisms go and how many you want and all. Like, it is pretty obnoxious.
It's beautiful.
That bone egg was a huge pain in the butt, and they went back and forth on that a bunch of times over. So entryway through here, and then here, and you're greeted by a host standing basically right where you and I are, right about here. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Hi, I'm here for the PowerPoint presentation. Absolutely, right this way. There'll be a logo on the wall that says The Canvas directly behind you, and a logo on this wall that says After. And then you'll get greeted into the bar with
This episode brought to you by Restaurant Systems Pro.
Everyone that you're responsible for, give them the tools they need to be successful. And when I say give it to them, give them all of the tools they need to be successful. So if there's like a changing room, put a bunch of hair gel and deodorant and toothbrushes and floss and all kinds of stuff. Just put everything in it that they could possibly give you an excuse for by when they walk into pre-shift and one of those things ain't tight. The resources that I'm talking about, a lot of them don't even cost money at all.
Give me some examples of the resources you have.
Simply let them know. Like someone works, if you are an owner operator and it's your house, that is your life's blood. That is the future education fund for your daughter. It is your everything, right? So if you ask me right now what I will deny to any one of them if they call me at 3 o'clock in the morning because there's a problem, I'll answer that telephone call. Mm-hmm. As will Amy Cordell, our director of Haas, Justin Selk, our CDC. Like that should be the theory across the board.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do what I need you to do to come in here and help me be successful, it's a 50-50 relationship, you and me as employer-employee. Mm-hmm. I got to do what I got to do to make you right and make you certain promises and always follow through on those promises. You got to do certain things to make it right on your side as well. And if we can come together on those things, then a successful marriage we have.
Yeah.
Right? It's all there. So we have all the tools we need to be successful. Now let's crush.
Yeah, I'm excited for today's conversation. So like you and Duffy have been at it now together for a while. You didn't start together.
Yeah, we met at the Peninsula Hotel. I'm really bad with dates, but we're talking like almost 15.
2009.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You did your job, then I'll try and not screw it up. I believe in you.